Okay, hi. This part of the lecture actually is the follow-up from the procurement strategies which we have spoken about. Okay, and after the procurement strategies is confirmed, you have adopted the procurement strategies, whether you're going to go for design and build, whether you're going to go for turnkey, or whether you're going to go for cost plus concessional contract, or the traditional general contracting. Basically, that relationship between the client and the client body and any of the other parties in the job, like the design professionals or the contractors, are being confirmed already in a way that is set in that sense. So now we need to actually look into contracting strategies. And in the contracting strategies, there are a few common types of contract types. Okay, this is basically contract types. So there are fixed price contracts, cost reimbursable contract, incentive contract, indefinite delivery, delivery, and others. You see, so the last two basically is not something that we will utilize frequently. So the first three is something that you will see quite commonly, and which I will explain in more detail in that sense. You see, so others can be just supply of materials, supply of labor, supply of specific technology. So it's not so much of that full relationship between the party delivering the project and the party who is going to pay for it. You see, so it could be others, like this, maybe a smaller part of the work, one portion of the work. Okay, and there are another one that the other type of contract is basically whereby there is maybe some form of unknown to the contract. Then we will have to sort of like go with the flow, and make it into smaller portions. Every part of the contract will be smaller portions, and it can be a long-term kind of thing, maybe matching more with things like strategic alliancing and also partnering, that kind of thing. So, but the first three that we are going to go on and talk about would be more on the usual one that we see, which is fixed price, cost reimbursable, and incentive. Okay. Basically, when you have a contract, there is a few things that you're looking at. It's now we are going to tie the parties together in a very close, in a very formal manner. Setting a procurement strategies may not be a formal thing. It's just like a thought, an idea that you're drawing out a procurement plan. But then when you are going to draw out that particular contract with the party supplying you with the goods and services, this is considered as a very formal kind of relationship, whereby you share certain risk, you share certain responsibilities, and you actually, some parties have some rights and some parties have some responsibilities, and it will come with the documents. A lot of documents involved will be coming into the picture. Okay, and this is the time that you need to prepare this document. You need to prepare all these clauses. You need to prepare the agreement in a way. And type of contract is basically setting up that kind of relationship in a formal manner, especially in terms of the distribution of rights and distribution of risk and obligation. So mainly for a contract, I think it really should be talking about who is to do what and who is responsible for what and who is supposed to be receiving what, and then as a compensation for the service that is provided. And then what about the risk, who has the, what risk does the client take, what risk does the contractor take, or is it more sharing risk, you see? So different type of contract will have different type of level of risk involved. Like contractor, in terms of lump sum contract, they will take up a bigger portion. Cost reimbursement is more on the client side, and incentive base is more on the sharing side. There are many variation here. So there are, like, let's say lump sum contract. Lump sum contract is pretty much what we call a fixed price contract, meaning that you look at the drawings, the specification, or the documents that is going to be technical documents that's going to be provided, then the contractor needs to quote and need to propose the price accordingly. And then meaning that you've really checked through everything. It's your responsibilities to price for every single thing. You look at drawings, you look at the specifications and all that. Yes, you can say that the client provide you with this. If the information is inaccurate, then we could have some form of variation to the contract. But generally, with fixed price contract, with lump sum fixed price contract, we would have minimal changes or adjustments to the contract. Okay, and then lump sum. If we talk about lump sum, with some form of changes or adjustments, that would mainly be more of a BQ kind of contract. BQ, some people think of BQ contract as a reimbursable contract, but there are theory that put it into lump sum as well, because you are still fixing the final price. It's just that when you go along, the rates are actually fixed. In terms of lump sum, rates are usually fixed, but it's the changes that you make in the final quantity that will make a difference to the final sum of money, you see. And that usually will be how we look at BQ contract. BQ contract, some people will say is actually reimbursement contract, and meaning that you do how much, you get paid how much. So there are certain there are certain contract like reimbursement. You could actually be paid as you do the work, you see. So you need to do remeasurement. So remeasurement, if we do the complete remeasurement on the site, okay, we normally would call this reimbursement kind of contract. Lump sum with BQ sort of things are, like I say, it's actually quite, adjustable. I mean, it's actually like, some theories say it belongs to lump sum, some theories say it belongs to reimbursement. So we kind of put it somewhere, so we just put it under lump sum. But if we think of remeasurement, then we would think of it as a lump sum, okay? Because at the end of the day, the quantity doesn't change. The rate doesn't change. The quantity change, okay? But if there is a part that is like you do the work as you fully go along, like as you do the work and then you remeasures, you actually you need to relook at the rate maybe, and also you look at the work amount that is done. You have to measure that amount. Then those are usually reimbursement contract. Okay, but since we already put it here as lump sum, BQ as lump sum, so we just put it BQ as lump sum, and a fixed price, we call it fixed price, but the rate changes. And there are certain lump sum contract whereby you actually do certain part, and then you get paid for that part, and then you do the other part, you get paid for that part. So that's why some people get confusion between reimbursement contract and also fixed price when there is changes in the work, in quantity, or in the phases, of the project. And there are reimbursement contract like you see here. Cost plus is definitely a reimbursement contract. This type of contract is whereby you actually have a cost involved. You actually charge the client for the cost plus some fees. Okay, so I'll explain on that in a little while, in a lot more. Okay, in the specific recording by itself. Okay, and then we also have other type of management incentive. Incentive are like, you give incentive if there is a guarantee maximum price. These are incentive based kind of contract. Okay, so I'll stop here.